Hi everybody, welcome to the QB School. I am JT O'Sullivan. Today we are talking about NFL draft analysis, answering one in-depth question. Fired up, let's dive into it. Welcome to the QB School. So the question jumps off from Alex Marshall. Great stuff, JT. I've always learned something in these videos, but I usually come away not feeling all that much clearer about whether they're actually a good NFL prospect or not. I respect the unbiased analysis, but would love to hear you share a little bit more of your opinion on their ability and potential. Alex, I sincerely appreciate the question and engagement. Outstanding question. I'm going to try my absolute best to unpack the answer and make it as clear and as concise as I possibly can. But really, your question kind of creates the answer, in my opinion. And so I'm trying to create content that gets you to exactly the point that you are at asking this question. So the fact that you can't tell if someone's a good prospect or not after the video is, in my opinion, a lot of truth. Most people, damn near every person, after watching any single video game analysis, shouldn't be able to say, hey, this person is a for sure Hall of Famer, or this person's a bust, has got no chance. Anybody who's getting evaluated on this channel is a high-level prospect, meaning that they've got absolutely the ability, the potential to play on Sundays. Now, certainly, are there some guys that are have a little bit clearer path towards that providence? Absolutely. There are some people that just have God-given ability to be able to go out there and do special things that jumps off the film. But the vast majority, when we start talking about decisions, quality throws, processing, those types of things, reading coverages, pass protection, concepts, timing, anticipation, so much of those things are baked into the process that make it so hard to pull apart and analyze and be able to put back together and then project what that looks like on Sunday. So the fact that it's not clear after one video is exactly what I'm trying to get to, because I'm trying to create really the most in-depth take analysis possible in this little sphere. And so the fact that you can't make the decision based off one video is really the point of this. And to really challenge you and everyone who's watching this to dig a little bit deeper into the process. And even into that process, I need to acknowledge my own kind of blind spots in this. The things that we see and talk about on this channel are just one piece of a much larger puzzle when we talk about the NFL draft and projections and prospects. We're looking at film and really an incomplete take on the film. I'm not watching every single game that these guys play, every single throw. I'm not visiting with their coaches. I'm not visiting with them, with their families, with their academic advisors, understanding exactly how they operate on and off the field. Those types of things, not happening. All we're doing is looking at the film. And I think it's important to be able to point out that I think it's very important to be watching full games. And I know I try to create that through the Quarterback School Patreon community, but even in the longer format videos that are available on the channel, I try to make them as kind of real as possible, meaning that you're not just showing highlights. You're not just showing wow plays. You're also showing plays where, man, that decision was not great. This was a turnover-worthy play. This was a turnover. This is what happens when pass protection doesn't match up with what they're asking the quarterback to do. Those types of things that are a real part of playing quarterback and help kind of paint a more complete picture of exactly what their performance looked like, as opposed to just looking at a box score or just looking at the completion percentage or a touchdown to interception ratio, which are all important metrics. I think when they're all put together, they paint a little bit more complete picture. But I think the best way to be able to evaluate someone when you're going to do an incomplete analysis, and damn near everyone, even on NFL teams, are doing incomplete analysis. They don't have access to all the information, is to look at as much all 22 game film and to be able to try to understand what they're being asked to do, what they can do, and then projecting what you see on film, whether it's an unbiased analysis or just pointing out what it is. That throw translates to Sundays. This throw will not work on Sundays. This throw is harder than any throw that you'll have to be asked to do on Sundays. This is throwing to wide-ass open guys. This is Sunday cover. These are throws that you'll have to replicate in the red zone. These are decisions that can never be made on a Sunday consistently. Those types of things, to me, I think, are important to show on film and show consistently. And so that's why you see multiple parts. It's not just, hey, this is Malik Willis. He's going to go at this number pick, and I have this letter grade on him. It's not that that's, not the most robust formula to be able to, I think, provide the analysis that I want to provide when I'm trying to create the kind of deepest level of analysis available out there. I just don't think it's replicable to how it's done at the highest level. And so trying to recreate that through this lens, through this platform, so y'all can see the depth and detail that I think goes into the process at the absolute highest level, is you start to build a catalog. You start to be able to compare and contrast. Hey, this guy does this guy does this. I want to see more of this. As we watch more, does it reaffirm what we already have seen in earlier videos? Or are there some new gaps? Are there some new holes that we need to fill? Are there certain things that we don't like what we see on film as we watch more? Or does it reaffirm exactly what we've seen in those wow plays? You just see more and more of things that will translate to Sundays. And so for me, it's kind of a combination of approach of what I try to probably by default think of as like a scholarly, somewhat pseudo-scholarly approach to it, by being able to show the methodology. So the method here that we're looking to analyze these guys is the film. So I try to show the journey through the film, through the different parts, whether it's part 1 as a junior, sophomore, whether it's part 6 as we get closer and closer to the draft, to be able to show the method that we get to the output of where these guys line up when I, probably by default of what this space is, come out with some sort of rankings. And to be able to show, hey, it's not just because of these wow highlight throws. It's the entire package. This is why he's there. This is why he's not there. And even then, and this is the frustrating part for everybody, even people in NFL organizations, it's a projection. You don't know specifically, I definitely don't know, and someone who lives in this sphere doesn't know how that person will then project into a system. We're just projecting a list, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, etc., to be able to say, hey, this is where I would take them if I had just a blank slate of being able to slot in this position for any team. And I think that's about as fair as you can possibly imagine in kind of this unbiased, constructed, weird lens where we're doing an incomplete take. So yeah, am I going to at every single video at the end of it say, hey, this is my analysis, this is what it is, this is what it is? No, because it's evolving. And I intentionally create the space for that to change all the way up until the draft, because as we're watching this, I'm watching this. I haven't been doing this work in the fall, in the previous summer. We're looking at this with the most recent film to try to create the most robust process to be able to show how we get to the output. So it's not just, hey, here's the rankings. This guy's got a cannon. He's really athletic. He's the number 1 guy. This guy's got small hands and, he can't throw to his left. He's the number 4 guy. To me, that's, not good enough, whether it's sloppy, lazy, or fill in the blank for your adjective. For me, I want to show the most robust methodology, which is watching the film, which is watching the entire game, which is presenting the process as it happens in real time. These videos that are coming out, I have fun doing them, but it's also the process of how you build out the entire catalog to be able to say, hey, this is the proof. Now, even in that being said, I will not watch every video, every throw of any of these guys. So it's going to be incomplete regardless. But I can already tell you that as I watch more of it, certain things are reaffirmed, certain things I have more questions about, and I try to present that through the videos. Now, it doesn't maybe always come across on the shorter videos, but when you watch the entire full game takes, that really is what it's like to be able to project, hey, this is going to work, this is going to translate to Sundays, and this isn't. And I try to make it as unbiased as possible. As this process kind of continues on, it probably isn't as unbiased as maybe I try to present it, just because I prefer to watch the guys that I think are better. I prefer to watch the systems that I think are more fun, more aggressive, better on the front edge of what I think high-level offense is all about. And so I acknowledge that my own bias creeps into it a little bit, but I certainly appreciate the support, and I understand the frustration of, hey, it not being a clean cookie cutter, list video that you can find anywhere about, hey, here's our top 5 guys. This is it. Come at me in the comments. To me, that's just not what I'm interested in. It's not what I like to do. And so I'm going to take you along on the journey. Hopefully you enjoyed the journey of it. Hopefully you start to appreciate, better understand the details and nuance and just grayness of all of these takes and all of these analysis and all of these kind of prospect lists. And so understand the process of it. try to enjoy it, but understand the methodology of it too, as being transparent as possible. Hey, this is the film. I'm showing you the highlights, the lowlights, all of the in-between. Really, the full game is really the only full way to do it. And even then, I'm not watching all the full games. So acknowledging the holes in the process as well. But thank you so much for the thoughtful question. Hopefully the answer provided a little bit of context of what I'm trying to create at the channel. I certainly appreciate the support, and I will look for you at the next one.